Hot hatch fans, brace yourselves. The Volkswagen GTI you know and love has just gone electric, and it's faster, sharper, and bolder than ever. Meet the 2026 Volkswagen ID.3 GTX. With up to 326 horsepower, 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds, and a range that stretches to nearly 370 miles, this compact EV is being called the Golf GTI for the net zero generation. But is it really the rebirth of Volkswagen's hot hatch icon, or just another stylish EV with bold claims? Let's find out. Volkswagen has always had a special place in the hearts of car enthusiasts. From the classic Beetle to the iconic Golf GTI, VW has mastered the art of building fun, practical cars that don't break the bank. But as the world shifts toward electric mobility, the big question has been, can Volkswagen bring that same magic into the EV era? Enter the 2026 Volkswagen ID.3 GTX. First revealed in Europe, the ID.3 was Volkswagen's answer to the Tesla Model 3 and other compact EVs. But critics said it was too tame, too ordinary. That's where the GTX comes in. Think of GTX as Volkswagen's new performance badge for the electric age. Just like GTI stood for petrol-powered fun, GTX is supposed to mean instant electric thrills. This model comes in two variants, the standard GTX with 286 horsepower and the more hardcore GTX Performance, boasting 326 horsepower. Both are rear-wheel drive, both powered by an 84 kilowatt-hour battery pack, and both designed to blend everyday usability with genuine driving excitement. Why does this matter for the US market? Because while the ID.3 itself isn't officially confirmed for North America yet, the GTX is making waves globally. And what Volkswagen is testing here could shape the future of EV hot hatches in every market. If you've been waiting for proof that an EV can have personality, this might just be it. At first glance, the ID.3 GTX doesn't scream boring EV. The designers gave it a bolder, more aggressive face, with new bumpers finished in gloss black diamond mesh, a sleeker roofline, and optional 20-inch alloy wheels that fill the arches perfectly. Compared to the standard ID.3, this car actually looks sporty, almost like a modernized Golf GTI, but cleaner and sharper. And then there's the Fire and Ice edition, which takes things even further, with dual-tone paint schemes, exclusive trim, and a production run limited to just 1,990 units. Inside, it's a big step up from the earlier ID.3 models. Volkswagen clearly listened to feedback about cheap plastics. The GTX offers Alcantara-style trim, red stitching for a sporty vibe, and supportive bucket seats. The Fire and Ice edition? That's pure drama. The driver's side finished in fiery red, the passenger side in icy blue, making you feel like you're sitting in a concept car. Premium touches like ambient lighting, ventilated front seats, and a more premium material mix finally give it the upscale feel buyers expect at this price point. Technology also takes a leap forward. The central 12.9-inch infotainment screen finally gets a faster processor and a cleaner interface. No more laggy menus or frustrating software. You also get a heads-up display, smartphone integration, and over-the-air updates to keep things fresh. Safety doesn't take a backseat either. Expect adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, automated emergency braking, and Volkswagen's Travel Assist, which essentially gives you semi-autonomous driving on highways. But let's be real, you're here for the performance. The standard GTX pushes out 286 horsepower, good for 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds flat, with a top speed of 112 miles per hour. But the GTX Performance? That's the real firecracker. With 326 horsepower and 545 Newton-meters of torque, it hits 60 in just 5.6 seconds and keeps going until 124 miles per hour. That's quicker than most compact gas-powered hot hatches. And thanks to instant electric torque, it feels even faster in real-world driving. Of course, performance means nothing without range. Here, Volkswagen delivers. The GTX packs a usable 79 kilowatt-hour battery, good for up to 600 kilometers or about 370 miles on the WLTP cycle. In real-world use, expect around 300 to 320 miles, depending on how heavy your right foot is. Charging is solid too.
Up to 185 kilowatt fast charging means you can go from 10% to 80% in just 26 minutes. That's basically a coffee stop, not an all-day wait. Pricing in Europe starts at just over 50,000 euros for the base GTX, while the Fire and Ice edition climbs to about 56,000 euros. It's not exactly cheap, but compared to Tesla's Model 3 Performance or the Polestar 2, it's right in the mix. If Volkswagen brings it stateside, expect pricing to hover in the mid-$50,000 range. So what are the key highlights and drawbacks? Let's start with the positives. First, performance. Instant torque, sub-6 seconds 0 to 60 times, and playful rear-wheel drive dynamics make this a real driver's EV. Second, range and charging. Up to 370 miles on paper and quick top-ups in under half an hour. Third, design. Finally, an ID.3 that looks sporty and desirable. The Fire and Ice edition is a showstopper. Fourth, interior upgrade. No more cheap-feeling plastics. Quality materials and cool details make it feel premium. And finally, heritage. It channels the GTI spirit into an EV body, bridging old fans and new buyers. Now, the drawbacks. Price. At 50,000 euros and up, it's creeping into Model 3 territory. For some buyers, the Volkswagen badge versus Tesla Prestige could be a tough call. Next, availability. The ID.3 GTX is not officially confirmed for North America, so US buyers may have to wait or settle for alternatives like the ID.4 GTX. Third, range reality. The WLTP number of 370 miles sounds amazing, but US EPA figures will likely come in closer to 300. Fourth, the interior, while much improved, is still polarizing. The infotainment-heavy controls with fewer physical buttons may frustrate traditional drivers. And finally, competition. By 2026, the ID.3 GTX won't be alone. Expect fierce fights from Tesla, Hyundai's N-Division EVs, and possibly Toyota's Performance EV lineup. So, what's the final word on the 2026 Volkswagen ID.3 GTX? In many ways, it's the car Volkswagen needed to make. It takes the practicality of a compact hatch, adds the thrill of performance, and then wraps it in a design that finally makes you look twice. It's not just another anonymous EV, it's one with genuine character. If you're in Europe and want the perfect mix of speed, range, and practicality, the GTX Performance is the one to go for. Yes, it costs a bit more, but the extra horsepower and sharper dynamics make it worth the upgrade. If styling is your top priority, the Fire and Ice edition is one of the most unique interiors we've seen in years. For US buyers, the story is a little different. The ID.3 GTX isn't officially confirmed, but it's a glimpse of what's coming. If Volkswagen brings this formula to America, maybe through the ID.4 GTX or a future ID.2 hot hatch, it could finally give us a true EV alternative to the beloved Golf GTI. Bottom line, the 2026 Volkswagen ID.3 GTX proves that electric cars don't have to be boring. They can be quick, stylish, and even a little rebellious. Now, it's over to you. Would you choose the GTX Performance for speed, the Fire and Ice for style, or stick with rivals like Tesla's Model 3 Performance? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth car reviews, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a drop of premium automotive content. This is your channel, signing off. Drive passionate, drive smart.